Hey everybody, it's Deanna Ferguson. My YouTube handle is Miss Merit11. I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. It's been a minute since I've posted anything because I've been a little busy, and it's really not an excuse because I said I would post, so I have to be more diligent about it, and I am. Anyway, I just wanted to say hi and come on and give you a thought of encouragement this morning, okay? Yes, morning. It's pretty early. It's before 8 a.m. And I wanted to do this before I went out the door to the gym. Today's my day off. Um, and that's so crazy because it seems like on my day off is when I have the most work to do, right? Does anybody else experience that? Anyway, I am learning to say no and to sit down a little bit more. But I do admit I'm still a little busier on my day off than I am, during the week when I'm actually at work. My day off is when I have to run all my errands, do everything else that I am obligated to do on my day off. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about was, so I was reading the book of Habakkuk. As you guys know, yes, I'm a Christian, so this is a faith-based, encouraging moment. I was reading the book of Habakkuk, and I was listening to, how the prophet was asking God, why are you letting so many tragic things happen? And why are you allowing a people that doesn't like us to actually overtake us, to be oppressive, to do things that seem to be hurting us? This was Habakkuk asking God questions about why the Jewish people were going through the things that they were going through at the time. And when I was reading this, I have to be honest, I immediately thought about today, the United States, and some of the things that certain groups of people have had to experience while living in America, myself included. And like Habakkuk, I started wanting to know the answer to these questions. I want to say here also, a lot of people will tell you, oh, it's disrespectful. You can't question God. You can't ask him questions. That's not true. The people he had a relationship with, they did it all the time. You look at many of the prophets that were mouthpieces for God, that were go-betweens for God, if you will. God would speak to them, and then they would turn around and speak to the people. They asked God a lot of questions. And many times it did have to do with injustice and oppression. And Habakkuk happened to be one of these prophets who was asking God, why are you allowing a people to be raised up to hurt us? God's reply was, I'm using them to bring you back to where you need to be. Now, that's a very loose translation. I don't want to get into the word for word, but I want you to get the message and the understanding of that. God allowed it so that the people he should have been in relationship with, or I should say that should have been in relationship with him, because he never changed, he never left, he wanted them to come back into focus. And sometimes, beloved, God will allow you to go through things. Sometimes he'll allow things to come to you. Sometimes God may even be the originator of certain things so that he can get your attention. Sometimes God has to diminish all of our resources That includes people, places, and things, so that we'll turn back to Him. We'll decide to trust Him again. You ever had a time in your life where you got so busy, so distracted, so whatever, so happy, so angry, so anxious that you left God out of the equation? Or you made something else an idol in your life? In today's society, many of us are, we're guilty of that. We may not be oppressed, but we may be chasing things so much that we forget about God. We're chasing money, chasing a person, chasing an idea, a lifestyle, a reputation, whatever it may be, so much so that we put those things before God. Now, what will happen, especially for people who have a relationship with God, He will allow you to get those things and then let those things turn on you. The thing you wanted so badly. Again, whether it be a person, place, or thing, you get that thing and then it causes you more grief than happiness. It doesn't bring you joy, because the truth of the matter is only God can bring you joy. But the things we think we want in life, sometimes if we make them an idol, then God allows those things to actually become the things that oppress us when we don't put Him first. But the other thing to consider also, beloved, because God was telling Habakkuk that these same people that I'm going to allow to be raised up to get your attention and turn you back to me, I'm also going to deal with them for the treachery that they use to deal with you. That's really something. He allowed it to happen, but then He also told Habakkuk that they won't get off scot-free, because you still belong to me, and I'm going to deal with the things that they do. You have to remember, beloved, God has so much in store for you. But just like David said, He prepares a table before me. Where? Not in front of my family and friends. That's not what it says. He prepares a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. So in the presence of your enemies, sometimes that's when God will begin to bless you. Right in front of some of the very same people that may have caused you heartache, pain, disappointment. They may have been unethical, treacherous in some way. God will still bless you in spite of people that don't want to see you do well. He'll still do it. But you've got to remember, in that particular case and context, they've got to show up and they've got to see it in order for it to happen. And God can do the same here, today, and now. Just know, if you're going through something, it may be that God is about to set you up for a blessing. He may be. You going through something. First, ask yourself, why am I going through this? Ask yourself. You're not sure? Ask God. A lot of times we're going through things, we know why. We know if it's our, mistake, miscalculation, mishap. We know if it's just because we really didn't know. And sometimes it is because God is trying to get our attention. Sometimes it's because He wants to hold us up as a showcase before other people. Job went through all those terrible things, only to turn around at the end and have to pray for his friends. God said, pray for your friends. After he prayed for his friends, yes, the ones who said that he was going through the calamity he was going through because he had done something wrong. When he turned around and prayed for those people, God blessed him above measure. Listen, today, be encouraged. If you are going through something, ask yourself, is this because of something I've done? If you can't figure it out, if you ask God, He'll tell you. You can ask God all kinds of questions. When you are close to Him, He will hear you and He listens. And beloved, He will give you an answer. Just like God gave Habakkuk an answer. Maybe it wasn't what he wanted to hear, but he had a relationship with God. That's the most important thing. His relationship was close enough with God that God was willing to give him an answer about the question he asked about injustice and about what was going on with it seeming that the wicked were prospering, right? God answered him and told him why, and then he told him what he was going to do about it and what he was going to do about his enemy. God will do the same thing for you. So be encouraged on today. Make sure you put God first and make sure you strengthen your relationship with Him in good times. So when bad times arise, you don't have to start over again. And what I mean by that, because God doesn't change, but a lot of times we do. And so then you start trying to build your relationship all over again so that you can hear from Him. Spend time with Him. Let Him love on you in every season of life. And I promise you, when you need to talk to Him and hear from Him, He will answer. All right? Okay, guys. Have a good day. Like I said, I'm going to get my day started. I got to run off to the gym and then get my errands going. So be blessed, and I'll see you guys later. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. If you would, I'd really appreciate it. All right, have a great day.